welcome to your Saheli chat show. My name is Jazz Saikon, and as always I've got with me Davinda Ubi and Gadyal Gacha. Hello ladies, welcome.
Hello, Sashika.
Jai Gurudev and welcome. So today on our, we thought we'd discuss firstly, British summertime has begun. Rugby change at the weekend, so it's quite a big weekend. How has that impacted you? Has that impacted you in any way, ladies?
I think it does, doesn't it? When you come home, Jan and Jan, you feel like there's an extra extension to the day and I can do more things.
It feels nice. It feels nice.
So that makes you feel happy, doesn't it? And then we had Mother's Day. So how was your Mother's Day?
Mine was just kuch nahi kiya. Bachche dono ka nahi sikhe, they were both working, so I just had a proper chill out day. Just watched TV, watched Kanshi TV.
That's what it was about. Good.
Yes. And what about you?
Just very basic, really. It was really nice. The children made like pancakes and fruit and all that. I didn't really want to go out in the hustle and bustle, and then we just went for a nice walk. All the children with the dogs.
Lovely.
So it was really nice.
Nice. Mine was like that. The children came home. They had a big feast out there, and they made a grace board, a massive one with loads of things, so that was really nice. And got your flowers and got your presents, so lovely. And you know, Mother's Day, it was actually in honour of the women who couldn't become mums.
Oh wow.
And we celebrated for Mothers today, but it was, I just thought I'd share that because
that's good.
Where it came from, how it originated. So it's in honour of women who couldn't become mums. So, and you know, we celebrated, which is lovely, but we forget them, don't we? And we didn't know the reason behind it, so it's good to kind of find out.
There should be Mother's Day every day, shouldn't it?
Absolutely.
And mothers especially, I felt like I'm more of a mum to my nieces. They, you know, they call me the masi, but deep inside they know I feel more like a mom to them.
Well, like a masi is masi, isn't it? Like a mom. It is the next thing to a mom. And I'm going to just ask you both, you know, as the younger you, when was you like best friends with your mom? Was it in your younger years or was it later on? I personally became best friends with my mom after I got married, because before you're a bit like, oh, you know, you'd have your little quibbles, but when you get married, I realised that my mom was my best friend, and she was my guide. I'd asked her for advice, like, the funniest thing was my jit, he brought this Arabi, I didn't know what it was, I'd never seen it, I was only 18 years old.
Is that like the ginger thing?
And I says to my mom, pata nahi kinna adrak le aanda. I goes, kidda banana ranga chori chori. You know, he went away, gave me the Arabi banali. So I went to the gully to make the phone call to my mom.
The gully?
And I said, Mom, I said, hey, adrak varga hai, kanda sabji banala, kidda banama. And she told me, she goes, Arabi honi hai. Things like that, you know.
I know,
you didn't have your mom, kenu karna hunda phone.
I think we did a lot of those phone calls, and to the point that mom goes, Chuck it bin let's start again on the phone before everybody came home just after we got married. But yeah, like I said, after my marriage, I felt I had a much more stronger relationship, more on a friendship level, that I could even talk about very personal things, things I would think I would never imagine to talk about before I got married. It'd be like, oh, don't put a bed in, I know, but you know, like, but I felt even now, like I said, my mom's in the spirit world, I feel more closer to it now more than ever.
My relationship with my mum was, she was just very quiet, and I think that was because she didn't have a great relationship with her mum, because her mum was quite tyrannical, quite dominant, and you know, the grandmothers were like that. So my mum was quite quiet, so she just kind of got on with her own thing. We got on her own. She was very, very good with my children, but with myself, it kind of just went, it flowed, but there was never that kind of friendship that I have with my daughter. You know, the love was there, but I don't think she quite knew how to show it and things like that, because she was never shown it.
That's right.
So that's what happens. I was very blessed. Like, I had a great relationship with my mom. I used to phone her every other day, and then obviously, like you said, I have the same with my daughters. Have the same with me, which is really nice, because they become your best friends and you discuss everything. My son-in-law always says as well, because when we three sit together, a mother and two daughters, he says, I can't believe how you guys sit together for hours and just talk. So it's nice to hear that from from a man. He sees it as being so beautiful.
My son-in-law's the same. He loves it as well, and I think that's because we're quite open. And we'll discuss anything and everything. And it's really good to have that.
Like they say, how you are in one relationship is how you are in all. It's like that, isn't it? We look forward to our get-togethers because we're open. open, honest, and we're being authentic with each other. What
I think
with your daughter?
Obviously my daughter's relationship is so different from my relationship I had with my mum before I got married. I think before we got married, I think our mum still had that thing that they needed to keep us disciplined. It's just, you know, apne community and, you know, and izzat karke. So I had that relationship. Mum made sure she was a mum and I was a daughter. So, but with me, my daughter's completely different. Sometimes I forget Maya, you know, and sometimes I think, oh, I've got to behave myself. Sometimes I'm the mum, and so my daughter look at mum, you know, sort of like. But I think that's me being
authentic.
Authentic, but me just be going down to their level of we have a better relationship, and that we can able to discuss anything. I mean, absolutely anything. And that's what I want with both my kids, you know, and my son as well. So my relationship is very different from my relationship I had with my mum. It's only after I got married my mum started being a bit more open and sharing things with me. And but I wish now, I do wish that my relationship when I was younger was like the relationship I have with my daughter now.
But I think that's the pressure of mums in those days. They literally, the old thing where kudi ho gayi, nohane nu byona ya, you know, bhi hon gaan da dikhna ya. So it's a big responsibility. So I don't think they ever felt quite free of that responsibility. Whereas our children, it's different, you know, and they have that freedom, and we can talk to each other, and we don't have that expectation of them.
We've got to remember,
it's completely different.
Our mums, like, from different background, different, because they came from India, and, you know, they came to this country, then they had us, and they were trying to keep us grounded and a bit like jida ona di upbringing sigi, whereas hona appa,
we're from here, and it's different.
And then we're different with our girls. And you know, the mother resta takina important resta, because that's the first resta all of us have, don't we? Is with your mom.
That's right.
So it's, you know, the most special, you're born with that resta. It's the biggest resta of all.
That's right,
So I just wanted to, obviously, you know, we take our moms for granted, you know, and we three of us haven't got our moms. So I just want to remind everybody, don't take your moms for granted, because it's not just Mother's Day that's special for your moms, it's every day. So no one's, you know, time is guaranteed here, is it? So, you know, apne mama na time spent karo, galla batta karo na, whenever you get an opportunity. Don't just wait for Mother's Day, because every day is Mother's Day.
Can I just say one last thing? I personally, my mum's never come into my dream or anything, and I've always wanted that. But when my niece got married, my mum came into my sister's dream with a bunch of flowers, or just before she got married. So it's almost like their presence is always there, and it's always felt. And it's at certain times, I mean, I don't know if any of you have got these kind of experiences, but they do show up in some kind of way. So you always feel supported.
And when they come with something for you and they're not here, it's really good sign. They say that, don't they? Kuch mangda howe thoda dar lag banda dar janda, par daran di gal nahi, fir wo cheez jehdi mange gurdware ja ke ja rahe howe, but je thonu ko dinde a, that's lovely.
That's a real blessing.
Yes, it's a blessing. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. It's good. And secondly, we've been so excited since we watched that film, Gangubai. Honestly, Sadi ta advice a je kisi ne nahi dekhi hegi hai na, zarur dekho. It's on at the cinemas now, and
main do bari dekhi hai.
Tu do bari dekhi hai. It's just such a strong message in that film, isn't there? It's just, you know, no matter what life throws at you, it's not about what happens to you, it's how you come out, and that's what we're all about. It's how you deal with it. The woman, the main actress in there, she got the worst card that any woman or any person could be dealt with, right? But it's how she handled it. It was so empowering.
And she was only 14, I think, when she was taken, and it was such a sad story to start with, wasn't it?
It was. We were in tears, but we loved it so much, and for us to be awake at midnight still staring at the screen, it was just, you know, how empowering and inspiring it was.
I mean, the main lesson, I think, in their challenges, mushkilan aandiyan saariyan ho gayi, bahut zyada aandiyan, but it just shows you that she could have sunk in her misery, or she learned to swim, like we say, Hannah. In after mushkilan da na fayda utha liya, that she got a himmat, she got strength and himmat through it, that she became a voice for all the other women.
She did.
And
4,000 women.
4,000 women. And probably it is sole purpose ehi hoga that she had to go through that, you know, tragic, very horrific time in order to help other people. Because she had the power, and she had this, you know, the intelligence and her courage to do that. and maybe she took that role in this life form to help other women that weren't able to do what she could do. So she had to go hit rock bottom and suffer, but through that suffering she learned to become a very powerful lady. And that's why I say the challenges, we can take the challenge as being something working against us, but only have the challenges in a work powerful mission banata siga that to help thousands and thousands of women.
Exactly.
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ about respect, ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਕਦੇ ਕਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਹਰੇਕ every night they lose.
It's a powerful statement, right? So you really got to watch that to get that. And she also said the purpose of life is to live it, to taste it, and to experience it to the utmost, right? And don't be scared. It's okay. I mean, all she wanted to do was really is to be a movie star just for 1 month and have her posters there. But God had a bigger plan for her to be there for 50 years and then to have these 4,000 ladies, and then there was no going back. She made big sacrifices, but look what she got.
But she also wanted to be recognised for being respected in the profession that she didn't choose to be that.
No, she
you know, the majority of people who are in that situation are probably forced to be in that situation. So she's saying that we've lost our homes, we've lost our parents, we've lost everything, and you know, because of the way the film was going, they wanted to move them on or you know, get rid of their buildings, their homes. And she said, you know, that's the only thing we've got left. And her main message in all of that was, we just want to live our life just like you're living, but your villagers come to our village. Why can't you let us just be?
So it's really powerful. Can't talk about it enough, but you've got to watch it. So
and she also really made a valid point that she wanted to become a celebrity and shauक सीगा मैं कुछ famous बनना चाहती हूँ film industry च so नाटकी सी अपने करो to become, she wanted to go to Mumbai है ना. So she had a desire to become famous, and also she wanted to be desired to become acknowledged for her art and her skill. And she did get it, but she got it on a bigger level.
Bigger than what she wanted or expected.
And she had a positive impact on all those other people.
This is what they say, don't they? To see, just go for your dreams. To see, मारे जे footsteps लवो, तो देखो थोड़ा आगे की मिलता. Just keep going, because you're here to be you, and there's a reason that you're here. So tusi doro na, just go and be proud to choose yourself first. It's okay.
And if you're doing it on a bigger scale for the benefit of other people, tusi hona da pala sochde hain, to fir tusi aape badna hai.
And hon apai dekha seva karde hain, right? ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਦਸ਼ਵੰਤ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ 10% or 10% of your time or your money seva ch davo.
That's right.
And me doing your Saheli, I feel this is what I'm doing, and you guys feel the same. But ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, and we do it because we want to give something back. And ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਨਵਾਈਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ because ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ. So ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਅਗਲੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣਾ. And basically that was the message there, wasn't it, with that story. And now we're going to talk a little bit about emotions, how we react from emotions. So you know, like obviously you know what I'm going to talk about. ਜਿਹੜੇ Oscars ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ Oscars ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ until the Will Smith incident. Obviously he reacted from an emotion, didn't he?
He did,
And ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਰਿਐਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ. And this is life as well, isn't it? And ਕਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਝ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਫੇਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦਾ, we don't always know how to react. Spur of the moment.
ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਿਲ ਸਮਿਥ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਥੱਪੜ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਸੀ ਹੋਰ ਸੈਲੀਬ੍ਰਿਟੀ ਦੇ. ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਮੁੱਕਾ ਮਾਰਿਆ, but ਹੌਲੀ you know ਹੁਣ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਇਦਾਂ ਸੀਗਾ, ਪਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਕਵੀਜ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨ ਟੱਚ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ ਨਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਆ? So Chris Rock, ਉਹਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ, he just calmly carried on with the show. But ਜਿਹੜਾ Will Smith ਸੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜੋਸ਼ ਸੀਗੀ, ਗੁੱਸਾ ਸੀਗਾ, because his wife was suffering with alopecia, and because of that ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦੁੱਖ ਲੱਗਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਥੱਪੜ ਮਾਰਿਆ, ਨਾਲੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਕੱਢੀਆਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਨਾਮ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਫਿਲਮ ਬਣਾਈ ਦਾ, ਉਹ ਵੀ it's gone really.
Yeah, karke oda reaction was from an emotion instead of a grounded mind. Karke apna sare na ho janda. I'm not saying ode na hoya.
Nobody's perfect.
But jada ohi gal lo kar sakda si in a different gal kar sakda si in a gal form rather than an action form jida une kitta. And this is where you guys come in, and this is where, you know, jada apa grounded hunde a apna reaction hi different hunda hai from the grounded mind.
So it all comes from everybody's different perspective and what they take the meaning, because first people was going, oh so well he supported his wife, and then they stand up there and support their wives. But there's other ways you can support your wife as well. You don't have to use violence, and because for a young child, they'll think, oh my God, he's such a cool man. He went and punched somebody in the face right in front of everyone. This is how you support people. But I thought that wasn't a good message for young children.
Wrong message, isn't it? Yeah, because he could have just gathered what's happened quickly. I know sometimes you can't. You know, I do agree where he came from. You know, why he did what he did, but. There are ways. I mean, okay, we learn from this, right? From his
mistake. It's a mistake, really.
So he must be feeling. I'm sorry. He must be feeling.
He was crying.
Yeah, he was crying. But to him, what reaction would have created that? So he'd probably be feeling very disrespected. Probably feeling
on behalf of his wife,
not valued, not being considered, not being appreciated. So it must be that theme. Must be he's holding on to that made him react. But you see, if that wasn't there, he would not reacted.
It was when she looked at him, that's when he did it. It just goes to show.
Because he was laughing
the impact. Yeah, he was laughing. And then he saw her look, and then he went and lashed out.
But the other thing was, I mean, the next day on Twitter, said that's the way we do things. Which I think is such a bad thing. I mean, is always wrong.
Exactly. That's why we've brought this up, you see. It's always wrong, isn't it? And it's assault, isn't it?
But he didn't, when he got his award, there was a standing ovation, which I'm very confused about, you know, because what he did was wrong. On any level it was wrong. You know, you shouldn't hit people regardless. And nobody's ever going to forget that now about Will Smith. But Chris Rock handled it very, very extremely well. But the other thing was, somebody made a comment and said, the people who joke about people, audience no, but that's scary for them.
It's true.
Joke they're just doing it for a laugh. But that happened.
Comedian it's okay, we would have let it go probably, because thinking comedian.
But he also did this, Chris Rock did say some funny things in 2016 as well.
He got away with
you know, that feeling of resentment.
This is what I mean.
Because he must be carried on. But he definitely said something about what's his wife's name? Jada. He said something then as well. So, but then, you know,
there could be so much going on there. But I think for us, as on a humanity level, that we need to understand that violence is not really the answer. And like you said, if somebody's throwing a black arrow at you through a reaction, to break that cycle, if it's a karmic thing, because nothing comes to us unless we've sent it out. So to break that cycle, one needs to send back either you could send back the black arrow again, which is violence, or you could send back the white arrow. We just send back a white arrow. That sort of like breaks the cycle.
And it's never fun to make fun of anybody, right? Especially when, like you said, they're going through some sort of illness. And, you know, and he should apologise, really.
But he didn't. And apparently, even after the awards, he went out partying, drinking, and everything. So there was no remorse shown there. And even the statement that came out the next day, it looked like maybe his manager had done it. It wasn't. Whereas if he had said it, it may have come across differently. But who knows? Everybody's got their own.
Like we said, violence is never an answer, especially in this educated world. Because it does unpad log and not in front of, like, you know, like on the stage, like at the Oscars now on a host there he handled it well.
But we've talked about it in so many of our shows that when we get triggered, trigger is there to make us aware of our own patterns and programs. So he allowed that trigger to he didn't get time to sort of like
slow down.
He just reacted instantly.
Yes.
But that reaction will have a ripple effect on so many people out there.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest shame is that the film that he'd got the award for, he kind of brought that into it. And he said something that, oh, you know, I protect my family, which is what Serena's dad had done. But it was completely different, and I don't feel like they appreciated him using that, because it was nowhere near the same.
No, that was wrong.
So we just thought, you know, like sometimes triggers and emotions, it's important to touch on. We're going through stuff, and like we said, the only way you really heal is when that trigger happens, and that's where the healing happens.
Step back.
Noticing
okay,
that
what's
trigger.
coming up for me? You know, why do I feel hurt, humiliated? What is in me that's, you know, allow me to feel this? So, but you can change this by being compassionate and kind to yourself through it. So you can sort of like release that humiliation or pain. But hitting and reacting is just reinforce that same pain that you've been carrying around for God knows how long.
And also, I think people would wonder, if that's what somebody does outside, what could they be doing inside?
It just
violence.
When you behave like that, it just shows what you're about, doesn't it? To the outer, you know, to the world. So
it's a bit scary. I think
it is scary, and sometimes people, you know, nobody wants to react like that. Nobody wants to have their name like that out, you know, in the media. But it's what's going on inside. And you just. This is where we say, you know, apne aap te kaam karo. Honestly, that's the best thing, and it's just knowing the basic, because apa bahar ta sare everybody wants to look nice, but apa andron, it's like we were talking earlier in the car when we were driving up, we were saying we should be at a state where ale dware thode jo marji ho jave, but you should be able to feel content and grounded within yourself and centered, because that's what we're really here to do. That's
That's a skill we're here to master, that amidst any chaos we can still stay peace and centered. And that's where we have actually had the growth. And that's really made our life very meaningful life.
Exactly, and be around those people that uplift you, inspire you, and you know, you aspire to them, and that's what it's all about, because we are here to grow and to do the work all the time. It never ends, does it? I mean, you guys are coaches. Coaches need work as well.
Constantly.
Constant coaching.
And also, if you're around people who you don't feel good about, or they make you feel unhappy, then that's where you've got to consciously you know, they're happy to see you in a place where you may not be happy or upset or something. And I understand, you know, the trigger side. ਵੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਟ੍ਰਿਗਰ ਕਰਦੇ, ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਵੋਇਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ you know ਹਲਾਉਣਾ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਗਲਤ, you know, ਜਾਣ ਕੇ to kind of trigger you. So it's better just to take a step back until you feel healed.
Exactly, let them go. And also ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੰਗ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ ਆ, just bless them and say, you know what, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਈ ਕਰ ਗਿਆ, never mind, but I'm not going to hold it, because ਜਦ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹੋ ਗੱਲ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੁੱਖ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ, ਹਨਾ?
But you hear these stories like this Sadhu Mahatma, they go into the forest and woods and they meditate for years and years and years, because they want to connect with themselves and be away from all the distractions and everything. But really, I think the real spiritual growth doesn't happen when you're meditating in the forest. It happens when you actually live in the midst of all the family and the chaos, where you can actually strengthen your muscle of I can able to really stay at peace and calm no matter what chaos is going around me. That's where I feel the real spiritual growth comes, not in lying and sitting in the forest.
Because it's easier doing it in the forest. But doing it at home where everything is going on. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji said that we have to do it throughout our day.
They're the,
you know, just carry on as the same
most beautiful example. Like you can still live amongst your family, but still able to stay connected, because it's not what the other people that are actually upsetting us, it's what we're thinking and the thoughts and the meaning we put into us that's triggering us.
Definitely.
And it's our manifestation anyway, so however they behaved is something that we assumed about them that's playing out. So we think they're triggering us, but it's actually our thoughts that we had about them underneath all of that, the trigger.
They're playing out.
They're playing out. We're triggering by our own thoughts, not them.
You know, and it's all your thoughts that start everything, and it's how learning how to control them and how to change them.
And I mean, I read that if you do 15 minutes of meditation every morning, the way you feel and the way you react, it's not a reaction, it's a response. That you just feel centered, more grounded, and you don't snap like that. You've just got that calmness about you, so that you can you know, respond in a way that's not going to hurt you or hurt the other person.
Absolutely.
And that's the best way.
Definitely, Sweno 15-minute meditation, be grounded, and then in the daytime, do a 15-minute brisk walk. Honestly, that helps as well, rather than slobbing around, because ਤੁਹਾਡੇ thought process ਵੀ change ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ throughout the day.
ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ, then somewhere along the line you're going to say something to somebody ਜਿੱਥੇ problem ਪੈਣੀ ਆ. So you know, we have to be careful of our thoughts, because our thoughts become our reality.
You know, I'm going to share this, right? I came across this, and I'll share it with you too as well, and our viewers. A 4-minute rule a day. You know, to complain, to blame, to go into victim mode. Don't give it more than 4 minutes a day. Je karna bhi penda thana kuch ho bhi gaya ya, 4-5 minutes max.
Oh, sounds good.
So you'll deal with it. But if something's gone wrong, you know, you're going to complain. But then after 4 minutes, this negativity, we've got to take action.
I think you need those 4 minutes just to reflect on thinking, you know, whatever's coming up for me, I also can't ignore it, because ignoring it is only suppressing it. So we need to sort of process it, allow you to process it in like a couple of minutes. Once you processed it, I've acknowledged it, I understand you're there, and I'm just going to be compassionate and kind to you, even though it doesn't feel nice, but I'm still going to be kind to you about it. Because I think love and compassion is the greatest healers of everything in our life. So then start focusing on your new thoughts and new story.
Exactly, and this is moving you from disease to disease free. Karke je aapa zyada chir allow kare na kisi situation ch vi ja negativity nu throughout the day, ਇਹ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਕਾਤੇ ਲੱਗਦੀਆਂ ਆ, all because of this negativity, stresses. So, you know, to get from disease to disease free, give it 4 or 5 minutes.
Definitely.
And honestly, this does really, so you've got to take the action. You know you've got to take the action, and it's knowing I can't change it, and it's knowing, you know, what you've got to accept, and you can't change it, because ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ try ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਨੇ ਕੁਝ change ਕਰੀਏ ਜਿਹੜਾ possible ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ change ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ?
Step into your power, but just by consciously choosing your thoughts in the moment. ਇਹ moment ਹੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ, ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ create ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. ਜੋ ਪਿਛਲਾ ਹੋਇਆ, it has nothing, it has no meaning to a power. Only has power if you keep thinking about the past, we recreate that again. But the now is exactly where everything ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਾਡਾ ਨਵਾਂ, new beginning story, life bandi hai.
Absolutely, and always like tuning inwards as to outwards is the key, isn't it?
Yes, and choose thoughts that feel good. And obviously you can actually see yourself, that thought is actually it's going to just blossom into more and more wonderful things in my life.
The next bit, good, I heard about this, you know, like you're obviously, you know, it's a topic that's close to your heart, suicide. It's I even heard, you know, menopausal women, more and more menopausal women, and suicide is linked to their mental health. They feel suicidal when they're going through these symptoms. Again, you know, penally advisor, if you are going through the menopause or you feel you are, get the blood test done. It's very basic, because it was on the telly actually, and it was saying this woman was actually having thoughts like, which tree do I hang myself on? So you know, Katie, then the thoughts on like jande, because you're feeling fatigued, you're feeling irritable, you're feeling anxious.
It's your hormones, isn't it?
It's your
hormones are just everywhere.
Very unbalanced, aren't they?
And if you think about it, when women have their time of the month, you know, their moods can be all over the place. And it's important to give yourself that time to see, you know, जो कुछ भी थोड़ा दिल करता है, you know, do kind things to yourself. You might feel bloated, you might, you know, feel like you want to eat all the wrong foods, but your body might be craving those foods.
So it's okay to have a little bit of that,
and go, you know, go and have a walk, go and talk to somebody. So it's something that's not right within your body, so then allow yourself to just accept it, but work with it rather than against it.
And acknowledge it, because when we're not, the build-up, it leads to low moods, and that's when you get anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts.
But also, you know, speak to somebody, go to your doctor. You know, there's always the Samaritans. There's lots of organisations that are free and that you can talk to. You know, if you're going through that kind of trauma and you feel like your mood's becoming darker, you're getting angrier, you know, your fuse is very short, and you know, all these are signs that something's not right.
Yeah.
But naturally, biologically, the estrogen levels dropping.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when the estrogen level drops, the cortisol level automatically starts rising, because there is an element of fear that what is my value and meaning in life? Is my partner is going to accept me now that I don't, I'm not woman enough, I'm not going to have babies, my kids are going to move on. So all these stresses are going in the back of your mind. So also there is some death occurring.
Yes.
The death is occurring of your old identity. So that could be mistaken as suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
Because the mind plays amazing tricks with you. So you know, something in me is dying. Is it me physically dying? But something feels I'm grieving about something. So there is that thoughts of suicidal will come in then.
Yes, exactly. And we as women are not great at expressing ourselves anyway, are we? What we're feeling, what we're going through. So talking to somebody, because every woman is going to go through it or has been through it. Just try the first step, talk, because there's no need to keep it bottled in. Now there's a lot more support around this, isn't there? Before there wasn't, like in our mother's times. But on Ajgal, it's quite an open topic, really.
And I think if you talk about it, then the other person will talk about it.
We always say that.
But कई बारी जिदा हुंदा है भी आप पता नहीं मेरे दिमाग में कुछ हुआ है मैं सही नहीं. And if the family is not very supportive, then that doesn't help. So sometimes you've got to go outside of the family to talk to somebody who will understand what you're going through.
And this is what we do. This is what we're here for. And this is again our seva, isn't it? जो कोई भी हमें कोई phone करे, oh Jazz, I need to meet for a coffee, I'm feeling really low, I would make sure I go and meet that person. And you're both the same.
It'd be interesting to know that, because you work in this field, Hannah, that all these women that do attempt suicide, they have a history of whether they're always, you know, fulfilled everybody else's needs, from their husbands to their in-laws to their children, that they had no time left for themselves. So all of a sudden the children are moved on and the husband's probably not the husband he used to be. So all of a sudden that woman feeling like, what is my value left in life? Because she had no value for herself. I know, so that all of a sudden that woman feel quite despair and thinking, do I need to continue living anymore? Because no one needs me now. Everybody's quite self-reliant. So it'd be interesting to know these women that do want to consider on a physical level commit suicide, did they have that sort of lifestyle where they completely neglected themselves?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably a very strong possibility of that, but at the same time, you know, our age women and the younger generation, fair enough, our mothers didn't have these kind of choices to look at, you know, self-care, self-love and self-discipline and boundaries and all these other things. But we know that it's important to meet your friends, talk to people, be honest and recognise what's happening within you. Whereas I think our mothers just suppressed it. And then they had all these, you know, my mum used to have, you know, a nervous breakdown every so often because of the trauma that she'd been through throughout her life. So, and then there's going to be other mothers out there who just don't know what to do, who will end up taking their life.
Because they worried too much about the outer world, didn't they? As to what they really wanted to do. They cared too much about other people and the people that were going to be future generations, we weren't even going to meet them. So this is what happens when you worry too much. You can go so far rather than just focus on yourself and, you know.
But what about us three? I mean, how much I know of you two, that we got to a stage when we came to our menopause phase, but we did focus our life on starting new careers and new ways of living and new ways of thinking. So that helped sort of balance that estrogen level. I mean, I got into dancing and stuff, especially belly dancing, because that really helped with me connect with my sexuality in the sacral. So that allowed me to balance that. So I didn't have that much of a menopause symptoms. But I think our mindset and thinking and what we believe about ourselves and what we believe about our relationship to other people, that has effect on our hormonal level.
Definitely.
So I think that's why some women will suffer more, the ones that have not valued themselves on a feminine level.
But I think exercise is important as well.
That's what I did.
And the first thing is to at least talk to your GP about it. I think that's the first place to go. In terms of, you know,
and there
if
are
you're not
many
feeling
experts,
yourself,
you know, on menopause available, and just sometimes making slight changes to your diet, just by adding like things like coconut water, watermelon, to eat. It kind of cools you down on the inside, because it's you know, your insides that you feel the heat comes from. So it's just cooling you down and just doing the right things and keeping your weight as low as possible, I suppose. Because for me, when my weight goes up, my symptoms return. And they say women, even like 60s, in their 60s and 70s, are getting menopause symptoms. So, and they can start from early as in their 30s. You know, give them the figure, oh, it's not going to happen till I'm 52. But age is just a number. It's not guaranteed when it can happen to you. So,
at the end of the day, it's how we think about it. And if you really can think, oh, menopause, I'm going to start feeling like this, and this is going to start happening to my body, it will. The body will just listen to you, and it will do exactly that.
From here, we can nicely go into a bit of manifestation.
We were talking about that earlier on.
Yes, we go a little bit deep, because, you know, what we are or what we've created today is what you've manifested.
Absolutely,
and what we're going to have tomorrow is what we're manifesting today.
So, I mean, I'd like to start with
definitely,
a really quick manifestation where we were discussing our next event, which is on May the 22nd. And we were to-ing and fro-ing about where it's going to be, and I was thinking Sutton Coldfield, and then in the end, but we got so excited and so happy, so it's now going to be at the Lime and Chili in Handsworth.
In Birmingham.
But the most important thing was that we spoke about it, but we felt like, because we were all aligned and we're so excited, and it's not about the place being an amazing place, it's about doing what we're doing for the sake of ourselves as well as the general public, in doing, you know, bringing your Saheli to a higher level and serving the community.
It was going with our principles of your Saheli and what we want to do, rather than make an event so expensive and unaffordable for the people that really need it.
Definitely.
And to just make it wow. But no, we're not about that. You know, we can do that at a later stage if that kind of audience wants it. But our audience is like middle class, you know, some people even on the lower band, and we want to help them, and that's our aim, to do seva for these ladies that feel they can't go to these places, right? Because jade high end alaya, one of the big business women on these are normal women that are wanting a safe platform just to day out with like-minded ladies where they can just be who they are, and we can have a bit of fun together.
And it's a safe space where they can talk about whatever their issues are, and we can support them, or we can put them in touch with somebody that can support them. And I think those values are the most important for us.
So this is where manifestation comes in, because we have this as our intention. It's coming from pure seva intention. So when we're coming from this is like a high frequency, because we're all vibration beings, we are, and we're sort of like operating from a high frequency. So when we're in this place, so things, you know, quite quickly manifest, Hojinda. So we just within 10 minutes, we thought of a venue, we thought of, you know, the place and the agenda and the food. Everything happened instantly. So when we're coming from a very good, positive place, that's when universe, God, brings situations to us without making too much effort. So koi tusi cheez kuch manifest karna hoye ka relationship or anything, if you're coming from a place of real genuine love and value, those things come to you quickly. But if you're coming from a place of needy, I'm desperate, without it I'm not happy, only with this in my life then I'm going to be happy, and then it's coming from a place of large amount of resistance energy, and that actually pushes it. When we're chasing it, it runs away more. Because we're not chasing anything, and we're just coming from a place of pure intentions. So sare opportunities, venues, people just step in without us having to ask.
Karke je aapa kuch karde koi event aapa ask karke lokan nu menta karke sade, it's not the right energy anyway, because we're forcing it, aren't we?
That's right.
I get it. And whereas when you're just openly, the way we did it, it was just within minutes. Sara kuch ho gaya from the even the entertainment bit.
That's right.
And we just thought we'd just do an event where your Saheli goes spiritual. So basically, it's just really grounding you, connecting you to who you are at the core, and just for you to share whatever's coming up for you. And these conversations are so important, because where else do people have these?
So we just want to just really share that. Okay, we're at our true essence of spiritual beings having this human experience. So we're all like extensions of God. You know, Brahmatma, you know, high intelligence, and each one of these are, you know, extensions, and we're just God experiencing itself through me, you, and everyone. And it could be anyone from, like you say, even a rapist to a saint or a sinner. God's experiencing itself through all of us and having an experience without judgment. Only we, our mind puts judgment on every situation, every person.
Exactly.
What's good and what isn't. What's good and what's bad.
Exactly.
Because everything outside it is absolutely neutral. But whatever meaning and programs we're running, we put sort of like meaning onto that situation when there isn't nothing.
Yeah, it's like you said to me when we were driving up. I said, "Oh, my TV roadworks are because you keep focusing on roadworks."
So you're
going to keep seeing them.
Yeah.
And I've also focused on जिद्दां मर्जी ऐसी आई है, जेरे मर्जी पासे दी आई है, सानू घंटा लगदा, and it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So just enjoy the journey.
So trying to say, this is so interesting because we're driving here, and side us say, "Just kari jai, TV roadworks," and you're paying attention to them. Utne सारे पासे दिसते हैं. And I was sitting now, बैठी सी, because मैं भी तेरे नाल बैठी हूँ, मुझे दिसते नहीं है, मैं मुझे ओदे दिसते when you mentioning it to me. Just trying to say that जिथे तुसी ध्यान दे रहे हैं, focus and attention, उतना वही दिसना.
और expand हो जाना है, है ना, हो ज़्यादा.
But we have a tendency, a human species, that we all tend to focus on what चीज़ हट नहीं हैगी, what we're lacking and what we're missing. So Newman is saying that if you're missing and lacking, I'll give you more of that.
Yes.
So I don't have the perfect relationship, I don't have the perfect job, I don't have the perfect family, I don't have the perfect health. We tend to focus on that, and that's what we keep attracting, and we keep manifesting that over and over and over again.
And what we need to do is to say, well, I want this. So you're setting that intention that कि मैं आ चाहनी हाँ कि मेरी job बढ़िया होवे या मेरी relationship बढ़िया होन. So instead of coming from a place of wishing, you're asking for something that's going to come towards you, as opposed to pushing something away. So ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, from a good intention. ਤਾਂ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ.
But make it even better than that, more powerful, because that's law of attraction. So let's try law of assumption. Law of assumption is that you're assuming that I already have what I desire. So I'm not waiting for it. So we stop the waiting, because waiting still means I don't have it now.
I'm lacking it.
I'm lacking it. So law of assumption is that I'm assuming that what I want is already here. I'm already feeling it and living it, experiencing it now. So that's why we said ardas karna, shukrana ardas karni hai, that I already have what I want. I'm already in that loving relationship. I'm already in that amazing job. Already in that, that promotion's already here for me. I already got the perfect health. So that's why we should say I am already in that perfect whatever you want to experience.
That's how we do our events, sorry. That's how we do our events, don't we?
So ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਗੱਡੀ ਮਿਲ ਗਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਣਾ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਣਾ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਆਉਣੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਆ ਜਾਣੀ ਆ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨਾਲ I'm happy.
ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ gratitude ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੇਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਭੁਲਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜੋ ਕੁਛ ਕੋ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗ੍ਰੇਟਫੁਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ.
ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਦੋਗੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਘੱਟ ਤੋਂ ਘੱਟ ਮਿਲਣੀਆਂ ਆ. ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਪਾਸੇ ਰੱਖੋ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਘਰ ਆ, ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਉਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ.
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਨਾ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੈਟੀਸਫਾਈਡ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹਜੇ ਉਹ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋਣਾ, ਇਹ ਇਨਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਉਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਤੇ ਰਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਉਹ ਮੌਨ ਕਰਦਾ ਰਵੇ ਇਦਾਂ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਨਫ ਹੋਣਾ, ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਨਫ ਹੋਣਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ.
I mean, you just did it now in the Gadichi thing, because you're just paying attention to those roadworks. It's happening to us every moment because you only live in the moment, है ना. And like I was telling you just बैठियां सीगे, we were talking about जितना सी order कुछ करते हैं Amazon तो, ऐसी चीज़ order करती है, right? And now we know मिल जानी है, ऐसी order करते हैं, we sent off it, and now we're just getting on with our lives because we know, we trust, we have that much faith of Arjuniya. And like you were saying about when you order food at the restaurant.
ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟ ਚੁਣਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ what do I want,
ਅਸੀਂ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਫਿਰ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ ਭੇਜਦੇ ਆ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸ ਨੂੰ.
ਫਿਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੈਸਟੋਰੈਂਟ 'ਚ ਚਲ ਗਏ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੇਟਰ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੀ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਖਾਣਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਕੀ ਖਾਣਾ ਕੀ ਪੀਣਾ. ਪਰ ਜਿੰਨ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸ 'ਚ ਜਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ when it's going to come, it's going to come. But ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਤਾਂ ਸਹੀ ਤਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਹੋ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਆਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ so that's the difference the difference is between the wish and the manifestation
but ਚੀਜ਼ ਜੋ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਨਾ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ सोच के मंगो because जो कुछ मांगते हैं वही तेनू मिलना like you say you're ordering a drink you don't say drink because probably I can give you any drink you'll just probably give me a glass of water when I wanted mango milkshake I wanted mango milkshake and I got a glass of water or Coke and then it's like the other day I went to a restaurant with my kids and I said to my kids I said I want a sit table just a radiator ho and I was and I said I want a table with the biggest radiator so guess what I went there got a table with the biggest radiator but what radiator thanda si
you got the radiator
but I got the radiator but I didn't say me the radiator garam radiator
you've got to be very specific with what you ask for precise
ਤਾਂ ਕੱਲਾ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੰਗ ਲਵੋ it's important that you start taking action towards it as well ਕਰਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਜੇ ਯੋ ਸਹੇਲੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਵਧੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਦਮ ਚੱਕਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ
ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਵੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਾਈਟ ਯੈਸ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੱਸੋ ਕੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕੀ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਾਂ ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਵੋ
ਟੇਕ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੁਝ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ 'ਚ ਕੁਝ ਆ ਜਾਵੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚਾ ਉਹ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭੇਜ ਦਿਓ ਪੂਰੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ ਸੋ ਲਾਈਕ ਅਨਦਰ ਕੁਇਕ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਟੋਸਟ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਚੀਜ਼ ਔਨ ਟੋਸਟ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਠੇ ਵੀ ਹੋਣ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਾਰਾ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਮੰਮੀ ਨੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਓਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਖੇਡ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚਿਕਨ ਚੰਚਕ ਬਣ ਦੇਣੀ ਆ ਸੋ ਬੱਚਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਖੇਡਣ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ 2 ਮਿੰਟਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆ ਜਾ ਮੰਮ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ ਮੰਮ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਬਣਾ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ you know don't worry ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਰਡਰ ਦੇਤਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਖੇਡ you enjoy your life you go and play ਫਿਰ ਬੱਚਾ ਫਿਰ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਬੱਚਾ ਮੰਮੀ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਜਲਦੀ ਕਰੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ ਮੰਮ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਬਣਾ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਵਾਪਸ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਲੋ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਫਿਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਚਾਲੇ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕੰਮ it's trying to say that you while the manifestation is getting prepared you enjoy your life because it's been prepared behind the scenes it's all the universe is beautifully orchestrating everybody in the right place right time to deliver it to you but we slow it when we keep thinking I need where is it we're being impatient so we slow the manifestation down so the mom's saying look your toast ought to be ready because you slow me down you keep coming interrupting me does that make sense
definitely so you know I hope this is like enough for everybody to kind of take on board and the importance of manifestation, how to manifest and how to attract what you want in your life because it's nice to like give everybody that opportunity to be able to know how to ask for what they want because not everybody does
Can I just use one more example just imagine like ਆਪਾਂ holiday ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਵੀ 2 ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ holiday ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ like a lot of like different people say oh I'm going to be really happy when I go on holiday but ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਫਿਰ 2 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨ ਚਿਰ ਮੈਂ holiday ਨਹੀਂ ਗਿਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ manifestation ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਉਹ holiday ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੰਗੀ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਚਿਰ ਉਹ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰੋ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰਹੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ
ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ
ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚਿਰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ so you're just spoiling your life ਉਹਨਾਂ ਚਿਰ ਜਿੰਨ ਚਿਰ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ
that's right absolutely
present moment so being present and again like we all talk about power of using your voice this childbirth scandal in the UK that's been big hasn't it again it's because people are using their voices big gana hove ek jo sade na hoya ya so I thought it'd be good to kind of just touch on this because again it's like giving children babies that they've lost giving them a voice as well and this has been big I couldn't like help listening to this again this morning again they're saying like ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਨਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੁੱਖ ਆਇਆ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨੀਆਂ ਆਈਆਂ at this special time ਇਹ ਫਿਊਚਰ 'ਚ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਵੌਇਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ it's never going to change and these hospitals that were not right they're never going to change are they and the future this is going to continue with future parents so I'm really grateful that they have actually raised the voice and action's been taken. Again, it goes back to jada ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ action ਨਹੀਂ take ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਫਿਰ ਕਦੇ ਕੁਝ change ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ. So that's a big thing, you know, so many babies have like died, lost their lives, and mothers have lost their life, but ਜੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਚੁੱਪ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ, they're never going to change and they're never going to pick where it's going wrong.
ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਉੱਥੇ you know we all have to learn from that. ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਗਾਂ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਆ ਹਨਾ. It's like an old car, you know, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਬਣਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੇ you know, you're trying to make it better, and life is the same.
Exactly, and it's these bereaved parents that are trying to make a difference in the maternity units, right? Be extra care ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਘੱਟ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ, but when it's like highlighted you think oh my god ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ.
I just think in India people are just suspicious anyway, whereas here I think it's easier to kind of try and get away with things like that because we have a formal system. But in India it's it's quite open, isn't it? But it doesn't mean it doesn't happen just because you know we live in a modern society.
That's right.
The message is here. Je kuch bhi thanu sahi nahi lagta, we've got a voice, so we need to use it and encourage others to use it. And on this note, you know, it's time's almost up, but I hope you enjoyed it, and my message is apna 10 jarur karo, jera 10% charity nu do, just seva karo. We mustn't forget that, and this is what we do every single week. So we'll be back very soon with another episode of your Saheli Chat Show. So thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
And Jai Gurudev.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.